Hi everyone, welcome to our Monday TNT. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend. Understand there's been a little bit of rain around different parts of the country. We'll get to that in just a moment. We had our first guest at our AirBnB just next door over the weekend. We turned on some pretty good weather for them over the weekend. But we do have some flood news. Let's do a bit of a flood roundup as we start our Monday TNT. Starting with nationthailand.com, rains bring down bridge across the Ping River. Looks like there's certainly a big chunk of the bridge missing there. And heavy rain and strong currents in the Ping River brought down the Wang Sakang Bridge, which connects Chiang Mai and Lamphun. Nobody was injured, and the incident was at 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, forcing locals to use another bridge that was further away. And the bridge had been repaired earlier, as officials found it had subsided, while truck drivers had been warned against using the bridge since October the 3 last year. Doesn't look to be in very good shape in that particular photo. And the locals are making sure we know exactly where the problem is. There's a crack. Hard to miss it with 4 people pointing at it. And going to other flood news, and ThaiPBSWorld.com reports rising water in Chao Phraya, increasing flood risk in Ayutthaya and Angtong this week. And people living in low-lying areas unprotected by flood walls in some areas of the central province of Angtong and Ayutthaya are advised to brace for flooding between October the 3rd and the 7th due to rising water levels in the Chao Phraya River, which is being caused by northern runoff. And further down there, overflows are also expected during the same period from the Wang River in the Tak province and from the Yom River in the Sukhothai province. And about 1,400 households in 165 villages in Sukhothai have already been affected by flooding, and over 386 hectares of farmland have sustained damage. Meanwhile, in Chiang Mai province, Highway 3003 linking Chom Tong district with Lamphun province is partially flooded, making the affected section impassable to all vehicles. 3 bridges are reported to have been damaged by the flooding. So it wasn't just that particular bridge we saw at the start of the report. Looks like other bridges have been affected as well. We go to BangkokPost.com. Thailand braces for a week of heavy rain, rising waterways. And heavy rains will be expanding nationwide, and the levels of waterways will be rising through the first week of the month, according to government agencies. And the TMD says the heavy rains would cover parts of the north, the northeast and south yesterday and today. And from tomorrow through to Saturday, heavy downpours will be in the lower northeast, the lower central plain, the east and the south. Pretty much everywhere. And the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation warned people living near waterways in 11 provinces in the Chao Phraya River Basin that the levels of those waterways would rise from today. So let's check with a trusted weather source and see what's happening around the country this week. We go to Bangkok, and looks like they're certainly going to have some rain around about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then throughout the week it looks like some rain pretty much through this week. Chiang Mai looks like they've got a possibility of rain today. The heaviest rain predicted up there later this week. And then we go to Khon Kaen in Thailand's northeast. They look like they're going to have rain very late tonight into tomorrow morning, and then again later in this week. And Pattaya looks like they've got rain today later in the evening, and also in the middle of the weekend, then on the weekend. And in Phuket today, an increasing chance of rain as we head into tonight, and then some rain forecast for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday this week. So that's what's happening with the weather around Thailand this week. Obviously some showers predicted, and the rain that's been falling over the last few days making its way down the Chao Phraya will at some stage end up in Ayutthaya and also Bangkok. Now to the next story, which probably wouldn't have even got into the papers unless the Thai social media made it the leading story over the weekend. Well, what happened? Well, BangkokPost.com reports senators condemn chef's act. And senators yesterday condemned a Thai chef who berated and chased their colleague, Kunying Porntip, out of a restaurant in Iceland over her political views. And in the video of the incident, which went viral on social media, chef Ari Alexander could be seen singling out Kunying Porntip, who dropped by at his restaurant with a group of friends, telling her to leave the premises immediately in both Thai and English. He ordered her out in a highly public fashion while filming a clip on his own phone. Yes, he did in fact film the entire incident himself, and he was using terms like "get out of my restaurant" and "you're corrupt." The chef said he used to admire the senator, who is a renowned forensic expert, but changed his view on Kunying Porntip after seeing what she did to the country, without elaborating further. And Kunying Porntip and her friends left without any incident. And another senator bought into the issue, slammed the chef's behaviour as rough, saying no one deserves to be treated in such a manner as it breeds division in society, which could trigger conflicts, says an unelected senator. And Kunying Porntip is known to have abstained in the first round of voting for the country's next Prime Minister, in which the Move Forward Party leader Pita Limjaroenrat failed to secure enough support to assume the post. She also condemned Move Forward Party supporters who harassed those senators who didn't share their views. So it looks like the senator and a couple of friends having to dine elsewhere, somewhat of an Icelandic storm in a teacup. I wouldn't have known anything about it, except a few Thai friends sending it to me saying, "You'll never guess what happened." Anyway, the things that fill up Thai social media. Hi, just a quick interruption, and happy to report there's only one boat left here this morning. All their other boats are out. 5-Star Marine taking people out on bespoke VIP charter tours off the island of Phuket. Now, if you'd like some more information, there's a link in the description below. You can even click on that website or type it into your Google machine. But thank you to my sponsors, 5-Star Marine. And next story today, things that concern people up in Pattaya. This is quite a small survey, but some interesting points made, and it's from pattayamail.com. And reporter Barry Kenyon reporting income tax fears replace insurance worries in latest Pattaya Expat Poll. And the top concern of Pattaya expats, almost 60%, is the recent announcement of the Thai Internal Revenue Service to tax all income brought into Thailand by both Thai nationals and Farang residing here over 180 days in a calendar year. Should be using the term foreigner there, Farang, only referring to one type of foreigner. According to a straw poll of 150 expats from the UK, US, EU and Australia, forgetting that expats do come from other parts of the world, conducted in Jomtien Soi 5, looks like the pollsters didn't have petrol in their tank. The subject has displaced visa and insurance concerns from their traditional first place in past polls. "Touch my pension and I'm out of here," was the response of many expats. Some, mostly retirees, said they were reviewing their options, such as moving to Cambodia or the Philippines, where tax laws are believed to be softer or ignored for foreign residents. However, about a quarter of the respondents had never heard of the proposal or thought it did not apply to them. 5 respondents thought it only referred to currency speculators, holders of offshore accounts in Hong Kong or elsewhere, or rich investors in overseas businesses. Then the Pattaya Mail contacted a tax Thai lawyer who, after a whole lot of huffing and puffing, said exactly what should be said about this down the bottom. Nobody can answer detailed questions until the Revenue Department, it should be, issues more guidelines for non-business community. And that's exactly what the answer should be. We don't know the details, so there's no use getting too worried about it until we do. And second subject choice for most respondents was concern that more long-term visas would soon require compulsory hospital insurance. And the prime worry was amongst the holders of non-O retirement visas or the annual extension granted to foreigners with a Thai spouse. And out of all the changes we may be facing to retirement visas and other long-term visas, this may be the most likely to bring them all in line with one another relating to health insurance. And I think it's really incumbent on anybody who's coming to live in the country not to be a burden on the Thai health system and make sure they either have health insurance or the means to look after their own health going forward. And other subjects of worry raised in the field study included the future of nightlife in the city, which some see as short-term as the Pattaya tourist profile changes to Asia and away from Europe, and the future of broccoli leisure smoking, in view of recent government announcements to restrict use to medical treatment. Brits are understandably upset by their frozen old age pensions here, although respondents seem resigned to the inevitability of discrimination. I think that's a bit of an editorial comment there by Barry. And 4 respondents primarily raised the issue of inflation in supermarket products, while 3 referred to traffic jams which they blamed on City Hall or too many music festivals. And a sole Australian expat said she was really worried about an influx of Americans if Donald Trump won the general election next year. Well, I think she's referring to the US presidential elections, and they won't be held until November next year. So I think of all the things she might be worried about, that's the least of them. Monday's TNT, please subscribe to the channel, and we go to Phuket-go.com, and the story Phuket's most popular island trips reopening in October. And there's a sniff of high season in the air with the reopening of some of the most popular islands and island tours over the next few weeks. October the 1st, Maya Bay on Koh Phi Phi Lay, the most popular island trip from Phuket. And then October the 15th, we've got the Similan Islands, Surin, Koh Ha, Korak and Koh Kradan. That's down off Trang. When I first came to Thailand back in 2000, it was the first island I visited. A lot less sophisticated than it is these days. We've got quite a funny story. Someone should remind me later in the week when we do our grumpy old men. And thanks for the good views yesterday, by the way. I'll tell that story to Steve. I'm sure he's got a few first visits to Thailand stories he can relate to as well. But it looks like the annual closure of some of these islands, it's usually in August and September, which are sort of the roughest or the wettest months of the year, giving nature a bit of a chance between the tourist inflows. So I imagine Maya Bay, with a beautiful day like today, is going to be very busy. And to this story from thestar.com.my, sexy gets sexier. Parisian top-ranked cabaret show Crazy Horse gets even crazier with Blackpink's Lisa. Blackpink are one of the most popular bands in the world at the moment, and one of the members is Thai, Lalisa. And Thailand's very own K-pop sensation, Lisa, dazzled fans in her debut performance at Paris's iconic Crazy Horse cabaret venue. And Lisa broke multiple stereotypes that encompass K-pop as she performed her first of the 3 shows in the legendary boudoir-themed venue in Paris, Crazy Horse Cabaret, on Thursday night. And a photograph of Lisa in a pink wig and black costume, not much of a black costume, posing with other Crazy Horse dancers went viral on social media platforms recently. She's chosen not to go topless like other dancers. And one of the audience members said she also met 2 other members of the Blackpink band, Roseanne Park and Kim Ji-soo, who were there to support Lisa. And there she is, Lisa, Lalisa, the pride of Thailand, breaking out of her K-pop image, the notoriously conservative K-pop image where even showing your navel can sometimes be just a little bit too much. But if you want to break out of the conservative image, I think performing at Crazy Horse in Paris is one way to do it. Good luck to Lalisa. And thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with some of the news happening around Thailand. We'll keep our eye on those floods during the week as a lot of the floodwaters start making their way down the major rivers and into places like Bangkok, probably later in the week. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. We do look forward to seeing you tomorrow.